Today I'm going to be taking a look at MNTRA's latest plugin, Filters, a creative multi-filter plugin with 38 different tone shaping engines and filters with over 300 factory presets for you to dive into. According to them, Filters is meant to be performed, not just dialed in. This afternoon's the first instance that I've had to really sit down to get to know the plugin, and I thought today over the next 10 minutes or so, we're just going to go top to bottom with the UI, the functions, the features, and how you can get the most out of this. I'm just going to be playing a simple piano, so it's not going to be too complicated for anyone. So here what I have loaded is just Filters loaded up as it is on stock. I've just got a Contact piano loaded up, very simple instrument, nothing too crazy going on. As you can see, very beautiful UI. With a lot of the MNTRA plugins, if you haven't seen them before, go check them out, but very well done, very well designed. The user interface is quite simple. So a few things to be aware of, just so you know, that these different parameters here are actually movable. So it isn't just pretty, it is actually quite functional. And you'll see here when we come back and use this properly, that these three different parameters will actually affect different things in your presets. So as you can see here, we've got dry, wet, cutoff, resonance, and mid-side weight. This actually will change per preset, so I'm not going to get too caught up in this just yet. We'll come back to it. Over here, we have our modulation controls in which you can assign to different things. For example, if we want to assign this modulation control over to mod 2, let's say. Okay, so that way that this cutoff is now controlled by modulation 2, which you can open up from the animod settings. So if you open this up here, you got mod 1, mod 2, mod 3, and your envelope fold. You are able to assign these to different modulations. And it can be controlled by different things. So it's a very basic what's going on here. You can do a ramp up, smoothing, intensity, rate, all sorts of things. And they can be controlled by all sorts of different things. So if we close now, you'll see that the rates change, like they're not exactly the same. So you can get really creative with the routing that you want to do and everything that you want to do with kind of these individual parameters. Finally, we also have some mastering controls, which is really cool. So we have a limiter as well as an equalizer. So very straightforward, very easy to use, a few different bands. You can either enable the bands, even if you've put it there, just so you can do some tweaking. You're able to just click in, add new bands here, which is really, really easy. Enable it, disable it, and then limiter as well. Same with mid-side. You've also got modern and vintage mode. But for now, what I'd like to do as well is also show you, if you click on this top left icon here, you can see really the unique premise of filters. These different filtering types, everything from soft distortion filter to a Doppler chaos to a gnarly filter to a spectral warper. So just some really unique premises here. So just a lot of creativity. Like they said, this is a plugin that's meant to be played, not just dialed in. We also have quite a deep preset library. What you've got here is a wide selection of, I guess, different qualities that you would want in a preset. So if we want something that's driven, that's also experimental, you can see what our options are. Maybe if we want it for vocal, or if we don't want driven at all, maybe we want an experimental modulated preset that's also got self-oscillation as well. So there's an really easy way to get where we want to go. Now, let me close all of these different things. There's also the disable tooltips here as well. You can also close that, close this too. On the front page here, there's standard mid-side crossfade mode, which to be honest, for MNTRA plugins, I actually don't mind having the hover over, just because there's so many intense features in here that it is helpful for me every now and then to know what's going on. We've also got different levels, input level, output level at the top. And then over here, we also have what I believe is our envelope fold level, envelope follower as well. And you can set that up here too. So And then obviously just your normal stock info too. You've got the MNTRA hub that you can get out of here if you haven't checked out other plugins of theirs. Borealis is really amazing. Brutalage is really cool. Yeah, so you can explore MNTRA even further. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to play some very simple piano, and we're going to start going through these presets. So if I just play very simply, I'm just going to flick through, not do anything in our presets yet, just flick through so you can hear some of their range. So I think you get the idea. There's a wide variety of filtering sounds. I'm just going to go to a random one now, and we're going to probably just dial it in even a bit further than we would otherwise. I'm trying to find one not too crazy that doesn't completely obliterate my piano at the moment. That's pretty cool. Bit of chaos. So what you can see here is that the dry wet is controlled by envelope. I believe it's envelope 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm still getting used to this engine myself, but if we just double check, see what it's, yeah, so it's currently, yeah. So if I go back here, the envelope 4 is what it's currently being controlled by. That's the dry wet, that is. If we change this now to number 1, it's very different. Let's change it to number 2. This seems a little bit smoother. Same with this one. Let's also change this to 3. What I've just done now is I've actually changed it from taking it off any modulation, any routing to any of these modulation wheels. What I've done now is I've actually just assigned it to different controls within these functions. So you can see now as we change the actual UI, like I said at the start, it's not just to look pretty, parameters will change. And also if you change the Just switch presets now. It's the same principles. But you also get the opportunity now to, you know, mix and match things. I really like that. I find that quite pretty. You've also got every different filter has just its own set of parameters. Some are going to be the same, but there's just so many options. So I think at the end of the day, what this is just an amazing utility. I understand that potentially it could be conceived as overwhelming, but I think at the end of the day, people who are using these plugins regularly, like I know for me personally, over time, I will just kind of pick my 2 or 3 favorite functions out of this and I'll be like, cool, I need to go grab filters. It's the same with any utility plugins. Like there is so many out there, whether it's, you know, a Valhalla reverb, a cinematic rooms reverb, whether it's Pro Q4, whether it's Eosis EQ, whether it's filters here. As time goes on, I'll find a place for this to sit in my workflow. Already for me, just off the bat, I know that from my brief playing around with things, the spectral warfare, gravity filter, I'm trying to find it. The mid-side bandpass filter was cool. So was is it the Juno? That's also really quite cool. And the one I was playing before, this one, the acid laddered filter, I quite like a lot. So over time, you'll learn what you like to use. In summary, filters is a really, really powerful engine. I think it's a really great utility for anyone to add to their arsenal. I know that I just kind of did a very simple piano explanation in this one, but I just wanted to go through the kind of top to bottom features and a little bit of a play around, because I know that at first plugins like these and other plugins, you know, that have so many features can seem quite overwhelming at first, but in reality, it is quite simple. You just need to get your head around a few basic concepts. Once you've done that, something like this is really powerful. But with something like filters, there's over 300 presets that you can just go with and fly with. And to be honest, a lot of the time, when I've got something that just needs a little bit of extra juice, needs a bit of inspiration, if I'm playing piano or if I've got a guitar part or a pad and I just need a little bit more movement and I just don't know what to go for, something like this is perfect. You'll flick through the presets and I guarantee you at some point in time, you'll be like, oh, that's the sound I was looking for. Adds a little bit of spice to whatever you're writing. And all of a sudden you've got that inspiration that you can utilize to keep writing and keep working on your track. As usual, MNTRA have created something really cool. If you've been following me for a little while, you know that I've used their plugins before. I use them quite regularly on an everyday basis. Borealis is really amazing. That's a really amazing effect. There's Tenebrae as well, which I use quite often. But I think this is definitely a worthwhile pickup for someone who has got a few EQs, has got a few filters anyway, because this adds a different flavor to things. This isn't something that you just kind of dial in and forget. This is something that you can really modulate through and throughout your track. It's something that can be quite dynamic and quite creative. So if you haven't gone and checked it out, when Filters launches on MNTRA.io, please go take a look. The guys and the team are in a really amazing company. Like truly, they're a really, really great group of people. Go check out their work and go check out their other effects libraries. Thanks for watching.